Hello, welcome to your reading. We're just gonna have to deal with the wonky camera situation. Hold on. Okay, great. So, I'm gonna be using Oracle and Tarot. I'm gonna start with the Oracle though. Seashell Oracle. Let's see what's going on. What's going on with whoever's watching this right now? So we have wave, force, repercussion, and movement. And literally right behind it, hiding behind it, was urchin, defense, vulnerability, and tenderness. Okay, see anything else? Oh, I think that's also 2 cards, yep. Queen Conch, divinity, resonance, and communication. And oyster, transformation, contradiction, and elevation. I am going to use the booklet, but right off the bat, so I'm seeing definitely some sort of, because they both came out kind of sticking together. One was hiding perfectly behind the other. You know? I feel like I'm talking to somebody right now who you're going through, I think you're doing something even though it's making you nervous, or it's like you're dealing with, like you're moving along in something that kind of feels like, how do I even? It feels like you're in a situation where, I want to say that, well, every situation is cause and effect, right? But you're flowing within a specific type of situation where that concept especially applies. Cause and effect, domino effect. I did this one thing and then this person responded this way and then so and so responded that way, you know? Yeah, because force, repercussion, movement, with urchin hiding directly behind it, defensiveness, vulnerability, tenderness. So there is a force of movement, or there is movement happening here. You're moving along, you're chugging along, but there's a sense of kind of fear back here, hidden behind it. So whether you're doing it because you're afraid, or you're doing it in spite of being afraid, I'm not sure yet. But I do see that the transition, contradiction, elevation. So I think you might be doing something in spite of being afraid or having like fear around it, paranoia, being worried that you'll get hurt. Contradiction, transformation, elevation, right? You're doing something despite the fact that you feel this way. And behind this card was Queen Conch, divinity, resonance, communication. So I think I'm definitely talking to somebody who you're kind of going out on a limb here. You're going out on a personal limb here. But it's leading you to overcome something. It's leading you to overcome that fear. This is one of those types of cases where if you feel afraid and naturally you want to go away from that thing that makes you afraid, you do the opposite and you go towards it instead, right? That doesn't apply to everybody, but for this specific message, that's kind of what's going on. You're embracing something. Okay, what are we embracing then? What are we doing that makes us fear getting hurt? What is it that you're doing? Too many. Oh, you might be sitting in your car. You might be watching somebody who's been sitting in their car. Okay, tons of reversed. We've got the reversed Seven of Swords, reversed Nine of Cups, reversed Knight of Cups, and then reversed Chariot. So what are you doing even though you're afraid? I think I'm supposed to look at it like, okay, yeah. So let's walk through these. Seven of Wands. Did I say that? Did I say Seven of Swords? It's Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is standing your ground, defending what you have. It's that type of energy. It doesn't even necessarily mean that there is somebody out to get what you have, but it's sort of like okay, I've worked my way up here. I'm going to keep this. This is, this is mine. I'm standing my ground here. Nine of Cups is happiness, it's bliss, it's wish fulfillment. It's right before total completion. This is that space in between sort of finishing out your main goals for this era versus like when the next era and the next desires and goals come in. This is that blissful space. When you've done it, now you're kind of just enjoying the ride for a while. Son of Cups is the Knight of Cups. The Knights are all about action. This is actively hanging out with somebody, actively communicating, actively feeling your feelings, it's action. It's not very much receptivity or allowing, it's doing. The Chariot is willpower. It's forward momentum, it's moving fast. The Chariot is kind of just like pushing through, chugging along, even when you're tired. But all of these came out in reversed. So my question was, what are you doing that you're afraid of getting hurt from it? So I think this is what you're doing. You've got something that you're feeding into here that makes you feel emotionally fulfilled. There's something that gives you joy, and it fulfills a kind of deep desire or goal that you've had. And you're standing your ground with it. You're sticking to it. You're sticking by it. And you are just chugging forward. You're pushing forward, right? In reversed, this would all indicate that, exhaustion of not wanting to stand your ground, not wanting to fight for this thing, or feeling exhausted from doing that. Watching all of these cups get emptied right in front of you, right? Watching your happiness and bliss and joy kind of be taken away from you. Being stuck and being kind of at a standstill, not knowing what to do or being too afraid to do anything. And then lack of direction. Again, that being stuck energy. I don't think all of these cards in reversed are what you're in. I think the reversed of all of this is what you were afraid of, and all of it upright is what you're doing despite being afraid of all of that. And I want to say that's a good idea, but let's see. So I'm curious, is it good that you're, I guess, still fighting? Or I don't even want to say fighting, it doesn't seem like you're that exhausted. Is it good that you're going on this endeavor despite their fears? Is it good that they're going on through this adventure despite being afraid that they're going to lose certain things? Okay, we've got the Empress in reversed, Father of Pentacles, Three of Wands reversed, and Knight of Swords. Quick movement here. The Empress in reversed is when you are not tuned into creative, receptive energy, or somebody is not. This is somebody who can kind of hold on to things too tightly, this out of fear, right? This is somebody who maybe has, I would say this could be like a fear of abandonment type of energy, the way that a reversed Empress would act is somebody who has a fear of being abandoned or left. But overall, this in reverse to me is an energy that carries itself in a way of there's a lot of fear of losing it, so you hold it a little tighter. Oops. With the Father of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, this is a leader who is level-headed, who is kind and humble and generous. It is somebody who, I don't want to say prideful exactly, but they're hardworking. So they're proud of like what they accomplish because they work to achieve that. The Three of Wands to me is the sort of predictive card, or it's like a planning for the future type of card. It came out in reversed, so that indicates some sort of uncertainty about the future. And we've got the Son of Swords, the Knight of Swords. Very quick, fast action, communication, analytical thinking. Let me think. So is it good that you're going into... Okay, I want to say yes, it is. Because, so what I'm seeing here is two contrast. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Literally, on the Oyster card, remember, one of the main words was contradiction. That's crazy. But anyway, what I'm seeing here is two contrasting energies. We have one energy that is afraid of losing everything, afraid of being left behind, so they hold everything tighter. They're a little controlling. They're not able to settle into receptive energy of allowing life to happen, allowing things to come and go, right? But this energy is stable and secure. This energy is generous and humble because this energy is abundant. This energy has things to give, and they are okay with giving. This energy knows that it is bountiful. It knows that it has an abundance of wealth, of prosperity, of whatever the thing is, insert here, right? But there is no worry. There's no worry attached here. It's a very kind, level-headed type of energy. And then again, I'm seeing kind of a contrast here. We've got, like I said, this card that's about sort of not having a plan for the future or being uncertain about the future. And then we've got this quick, fast acting card. And they fell out like this. They fell out with this owl kind of facing this this little portal. I always see this card as a portal. This owl, this fast acting, fast moving creature is headed straight for that portal. I do think it's good that you're going through this adventure of yours, even though you were very scared, because This is the sort of transition I'm seeing. And again, oyster card. Transformation is another word on it. And right behind it, wow, right behind it is Queen Conch, divinity, resonance, communication. Going into this is turning this card upright for you. Gender doesn't matter, okay? It's about the energy. That is so interesting. What's also interesting is that with the way the cards fell out, both of these animals came out looking at this portal. This deer, this King of Pentacles, is connected through color. This owl, this Knight of Swords, is connected through, like, that's his aim, that's what he's going for. These are indicators of people too, these cards. I don't think that it's representing different people in your life right now. I think this is more about you, but just putting that out there. I mean, if I thought to say it, it might resonate for somebody. Okay, let's go a little further here. Tell me more about this person that's watching. Oh my gosh, you have the Ten of Cups upright. You have the Fool card, grand new beginnings. And you have the Four of Swords in reversed. The end to a resting period. The end to... Oh my gosh, and you have the Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. That is so beautiful. I'm taking that. This is... Okay. This card, Four of Swords, it's a necessary resting period. It is a moment of stepping back. It is recluding, is that a word? Going inward. I have to sneeze. Ah, bless me. Sorry. But yeah, this is a card of just completely stepping back, and it happens whether you choose to or the universe will do it for you, okay? So, yeah. This came out for you in reversed, though. I'm seeing some beautiful, beautiful energy for you. This new endeavor of yours, or it might not even be new, but the sense of doing it despite being afraid is new. Take it however it resonates for you. But this is definitely an adventure of happiness. It's an adventure to happiness and stability. Happiness and stability. It's an adventure to happiness and also just a different version of yourself and a different version of connections that you have. It's both independent and communal, is what I'm seeing here. The Fool card is very much a novice energy. It's a sort of excited energy. It's like, it's somebody who they don't know too much yet. They might be a little naive even. But in your case, it's definitely, you're jumping into this little adventure of yours. And whether you've had the opportunity before and passed it up or not, this is just the energy of, like, I'm seeing, like, it's just where before it's just like a sense of, I don't even want to say the word extroversion exactly, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. All right, let me see. You are coming out of, you know what too, is I'm seeing the way that this lamb, the sun is right on its forehead. Illumination. Something was illuminated to you. I say was because this card is out in reversed, so it's coming out of a resting period. That makes me think that recently, very recently, you were going through maybe some hesitating, maybe some questioning. Maybe you were still in the thick of that fear for a brief moment there, but you had some sort of little revelation, big or small, could be big, but you had a revelation. Something was illuminated to you. Maybe it could have just been like, no, um I want to stick this job out. I want to see where it goes. Or no, I love this person. I care about this person. I want to show up for them. Or, it could, whichever way it works, it could be something completely different too. But something was recently illuminated here. What else should we find out? This is looking pretty beautiful right now. Oh, I think I should add all these back in. Okay. So far we're seeing a really nice energy here. Okay. Whoa. I'm seeing, so 5 of Pentacles came out sideways. This could have been like on the verge of what you were feeling, kind of being left out in the cold, or feeling like something was taken from you, or some kind of loss you experienced, or being afraid that you would experience that. Then I have the Father of Wands and the Daughter of Pentacles reversed. This is the King of Wands and Page of Pentacles reversed. And I felt, this was at the bottom of the deck, Ace of Cups, but I felt guided to take it. So this could be like, this, okay, remember how I talked about how like these calling cards could represent people? Now I feel like I'm looking at 2 different people somehow. The Father of Wands. Wands is a very fast-moving energy. Wands is quick-moving. It is passionate. It's excitable. It is connected with the element of fire. But it's a visionary leader. In this case, a visionary leader. King of Wands. An action-oriented leader, right? Someone who wants to do action and see action. This Daughter of Pentacles, this Page of Pentacles, is a much slower moving energy. I dare say Pentacles is like the slowest moving energy of all of the suits that we have, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's slower because it takes its time in sort of understanding something. It takes its time making decisions because it wants to make the best choice for itself and everyone involved, right? And this is a page, novice energy, somebody who doesn't know too much to begin with, somebody who's still very new to the adventure or to the world in general, could be somebody literally younger. But I'm seeing so many contrasts here, not only obviously in the type of animal, right? But I'm also seeing maturity, confidence versus an experience in this one versus inexperienced, not quite as certain, I'm also seeing different qualities. Visionary, passionate, action-oriented, ready to go versus calm and collected, mindful, and practical, right? These are 2 complementary energies. They're not exactly full on opposite, but they are definitely not fully similar either. So this all of this worry that you had could have been to do with a relationship, or it could have been to do with something going on that involved two people or multiple people. So for example, for you, if this whole situation is about a job somehow, it's like maybe you were worried about a coworker or a manager or something. But I'm definitely reading this as it's like a relationship of some sort where one is or was more experienced and therefore just kind of ready to go, and also just more willing to, I guess, take risks or to move quickly. And the other energy is still hesitant because remember, this also came out in reversed. This is definitely an energy that is unsure and does not want to move until they are sure. Ace of Cups is a new beginning within a relationship, but it also, recently I saw someone describe it as a surprise, and for some reason that kind of stuck in my brain. Ace of Cups is a little surprise. And I kind of like that idea. That might be sort of how things are unfolding for you right now, because what I'm seeing is I'm looking at what you were more of what you were recently worried about with this 5 of Pentacles being out sideways. So it's like so you were stuck between like, okay, I could lose this thing and I could be left out in the cold, or I could be finally gaining my abundance back, or it came out sideways. It's like I'm not sure, it could go either way type of energy. We've got these two contrasting people. And then we've got this little surprise, this little emotional surprise. So I think I'm looking at right now, basically, your very recent past and current happenings with this situation of yours. So do you have any advice for this person, whoever's watching? Let's see. Oh, okay, I feel guided to go back to the oracle. Any advice for whoever's watching? We have Sponge. Empathy, pragmatism, and acceptance. I forgot what pragmatism means. Lighthouse keeper. Guidance, solitude, and safety. Nautilus. Perfection, spirals, and growth. I don't know if I said that word right. Nautilus? Type of shell. And then seaglass, time, healing, and fortune. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. Okay. So, advice for you and your situation right now. As it stands, I think it's looking pretty nice already. With Sponge, empathy, and pragmatism, acceptance. I think that you are being guided to, literally guidance. I forgot. I just read these and I forget them. Lighthouse keeper, guidance, solitude, safety. I think you are literally being guided to just remind yourself of your empathy. Remind yourself of, kind of put, compassion. Find some compassion when you find yourself getting worried. And because I feel like whoever I'm talking to, I feel like the thing that's really sprouting your fears is like worrying how somebody else might respond to you, or worrying how, what the reaction will be. And in that way, I think that's like kind of the root of your fears. Maybe it's based on how somebody's acting right now, but I don't want to say anybody's outright being, I don't know, mean or closed off exactly. It's just like maybe in subtle ways that you still recognize. You can start with first putting yourself in their shoes. Nobody acts like that without a reason to. Somebody might be kind of walking on eggshells a little bit. Somebody might be um, just acting in a way that kind of sets your alarm bells off. But for this person, some people they act like that because they have different intentions. But for your case, it's happening because something else is causing it. You know what I mean? It's not happening out of trickery, deception, or a plan to undermine you somehow. I think you're being guided to really tune into that and to really try to connect with what might be going on there. Perfection, spirals, and growth, time, healing, fortune. Hold on, let me check out this Nautilus card because I don't know exactly. Coiling in a flawless logarithmic. What the hell is that word, you guys? Logarithmic? Anyway. Coiling in a flawless logarithmic spiral, the Nautilus represents the perfection of nature. Even when it feels like you're doubling back or moving in reverse, you are growing. This also connects with that analogy of like a tree, how a tree stump grows. When it's like we grow outwards, right? So like we start somewhere, something happens to us, and as we grow a layer around and around like a tree stump, and this thing that happened to you keeps popping up, but it doesn't mean that you're going backwards. You're still growing. You just have to go over it sometimes, right? Until eventually it's not even a thing to you anymore. That's how growth works. And I think that's what this card is talking about. Even when you feel like you're going backwards, you're really not. So these two cards could also talk about like having empathy with yourself too. Maybe you are the one who's acting out of fear. Maybe you're the one who's being kind of standoffish or walking on eggshells. Or maybe you're the one who had the desire to act that way. It's important to assess whether or not our situation calls for that behavior, but it's also important to accept and understand and be okay with, why we felt the desire to act that way to begin with. Seaglass, time, healing, and fortune. You are healing though. These are two cards that are telling you, like, they are reminding you, hey, you are healing though. You are moving forward though. This is very beautiful. Your advice here is to have empathy with yourself and with others, naturally. I say that a lot, I think. Have empathy with yourself and with others. And remember that when past events come up again and it feels like you're kind of beating a dead horse, I mean, obviously, it depends on how it's being brought up, how everyone's reacting to it. But in this reading specifically, it seems like when fears are being brought up again, it doesn't mean that you're reverting. It means that you are growing, you have grown, and so now you're being faced with this challenge again to see how you will overcome it this time. It's just you growing another layer, right? Sea glass goes through waves and waves and waves of water. Like it's literally going through currents and currents and currents of water to naturally get the look that it has, right? It starts off as pieces of broken glass. That's what it is. With sharp 444, divine protection, with sharp edges, and it's just a broken piece of trash lost in the ocean. And over years, over time, and repeatedly going through currents and waves and currents and waves in water, those edges are softened and it turns into this beautiful tumbled piece of glass, naturally. That's what's happening with you. And that pain, that sharp pain, that sharp fear, whatever it is that's popping up for you, it's going through the currents. You're going through the currents of healing, of emotion. And it softens it a little more every time. It tumbles it into a beautiful little treasure. Okay, that's very beautiful. I'm going to leave the reading here. We've been here long enough. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it resonated. If it did, please leave me a like and a comment if you would like to. Yeah. Okay, have a good day.